Celeste is a game loved by many, cherished for its story, representation, and metaphors. It's an amazing casual playthrough game that gives the player a challenge, while letting us know it's okay to struggle. We all show love in different ways, and for some of us, breaking down this game to its very core, understanding all of the individual mechanics to their highest degree, and beating Celeste as fast as we possibly can is our way of showing it. If you clicked on this video, you probably already know that Celeste is a hugely popular speedrunning game. Between the progression of skill this game has, with being able to do different rooms in faster and faster ways, and the in-game timer, it was designed to be adored by speedrunners, myself being one who gravitated towards it. And of course, I want to go as fast as I can while speedrunning, but I've always broken that down into tiny goals. First I shot for sub hour, then for sub 50, then for sub 45, and then eventually what turned into the hardest speedrunning challenge I've done yet, the sub 40. I've been no stranger to sharing and streaming my PBs over the short time that I have speedran, slowly documenting my progress for everyone to see me hone in on this elusive goal of mine. Within the last few weeks, I've gone especially hard on Celeste 90%. The sub 40 felt easily within reach, and I wanted it now. I kept trying and falling just short, but one day felt different. It was the first run of the day and everything felt amazing. It was my first run in a long time using LiveSplit. So long, in fact, that LiveSplit said that my previous PB was a 48-minute run, when my actual PB was a little more than 40 minutes and 20 seconds. Seeing all the gold splits filled me with a lot of confidence, and while not every chapter was perfect, I ended chapter 6 as one of the fastest times I'd ever ran on it, and was entering Summit faster than I ever had before. If any run was gonna be the sub 40, this was gonna be it. I was clearing flag after flag cleanly. I got to flag 5 on a pace that I knew could easily turn into a sub 40. I was gonna do it. This was it. What I've been working for so long, I was finally gonna have a time in the 30-minute range. Wait, why are you looking at the runtime of the video? You didn't expect the video to be this short? Don't tell me that something's gonna go wrong. No, I can't. No, my controller died! My controller died! No! So, for context, I play Celeste with a hybrid playstyle, which means I play with both my keyboard and, in my case, a Nintendo Switch Pro controller at the same time. More specifically, I use the arrow keys for movement, right control to down confirm, B for confirm and jump, A for dash, Y for crouch dash, ZR or right trigger for grab, and R or right bumper as a secondary jump that's used for situations that I need to full jump twice in quick succession. This is why you see me scrambling as soon as I realized my controller had died. I could still move with my keyboard, and I was making the quick second decision to determine if I could finish the run only using keyboard controls. Unluckily for me, I knew literally 0 of my keyboard key bindings for Celeste, so I then scrambled to get my controller charger plugged in. Turns out, this was also the only time in weeks that my controller charger hadn't been either plugged in or right beside of the outlet. Instead, I had to rush to grab it, plug it in, all the while sitting in the aftermath of throwing this amazing run, and by the time I could get it plugged in, the sub 40 had passed. The run was dead. The even worse part of this is I accidentally turned off my mic when this happened. No! I didn't even get to get my full reaction of the agony that I was in. The agony of my fastest pace ever, destroyed by a controller death. But no, that doesn't sound right. I couldn't give up now. If I had the ability to run this fast of a pace once today, I could do it again, right? After composing myself and sitting in extremely understandable pain for a bit. That isn't my fault. My controller died at the worst possible moment. I started the next run, determined to proclaim what was rightfully mine, what was stolen from me. I was getting the sub 40. I don't know if it was the adrenaline pulsing through me from the controller death or what, but this run was looking even better than the last run. I was only 10 seconds behind the previous pace, and even though it was really close last time, if I just played well, this could still be a sub 40 pace. I played through Summit yet again, relatively cleanly, making it to 3,000 meters on a pace that could have been the sub 40. I approached the final stretch of the run. When I play at my best, I know that I can complete the run at around 50 seconds after flag 5. And on this run when I got there, the time was 39 minutes and 11 seconds. 49 seconds for the sub 40. Last run might have been close, but this run was coming down to the literal milliseconds. And I instantly died on flag 4. At least it wasn't flag 3 again this time. No! While this wasn't the run, it was really good practice. I finished out the run, died again on flag 1 from nerves, and managed to improve my already so close PB with a shiny new 4017. Only a 5-second improvement, but an improvement nonetheless. But this time, I wasn't upset at all. This one was my fault. I felt fully okay with accepting that I didn't get the sub 40 because I didn't play well enough. And I knew I wasn't giving up until I had finally reached the sub 40. I'm not gonna submit it until I get the sub 40. New PB, we take those. There were a lot of things I could have easily improved on to make that run at sub 40. So many chapters could have gone slightly better, but that was the past now. The present was to try one more time. 3 runs is usually my limit on stream. It takes a lot of focus and energy out of me to run back to back to back full any percent runs. But I wanted this today. Especially because now, for the first time, Live Split showed my sum of best being a sub 40. All the signs were pointing to me doing another run, and that's exactly what I did. With what could be the last needed attempt, I started one last time. And this wasn't the run either. I messed up a ton in Chapter 6 and lost a lot of time, which caused the run to not be a sub 40. Yet again, however, this was somehow a new PB without being sub 40 at 40 minutes and 10 seconds. This might actually be the closest set of PBs I've ever had in Celeste, all of them seeming to keep me from what I truly had my eyes on. But like I said before, this had to be the final run of the day, right? I was exhausted, my fingers were starting to ache slightly from the tense pressure I put on my controller. I had no reason to do another run. I should just rest up and... Okay, fine, one more can't hurt. With one final run, while being exhausted, fingers starting to get a tiny bit sore, and being low energy, I gave it all that I could. I ran my best chapter 1 of the day, gold splitting, and putting myself 10 seconds ahead of the previous run, which means that all I have to do now is run just as good as I had before. Chapter 2 went just as well, where I did better than my PB again and gained another 3-second lead. The first 2 chapters very rarely determine a run, but with how close it's been, this start was leaving me with a lot of confidence. In Chapter 3, I slightly blew it, lost all the time that I had gained and an additional 6 seconds. Ultimately, 6 seconds isn't gonna matter, so I kept going, but I do want to remind you that 6 seconds is more than half of the time that my PB was away from sub 40. So I really needed to pick it up going further. And in Chapter 4, I did exactly not that. Exactly not that. I lost 10 more seconds and was feeling like I might have already blown my chance. I have ran good runs on this kind of pace before though, so I persisted. I went 2 seconds faster in 5A grabbing the cassette and stayed at around the same pace after exiting 5B. Here's where it all started to matter though. The last half of the run is what ended my last PB from being the sub 40. All I had to do was pull off a decent Chapter 6 and that time loss would go away instantly. And I did exactly that. With 45 seconds faster than my last run, I was now in the green for the first time since Chapter 2. I was 30 seconds ahead of my 40-10. I was on sub 40 pace. With the nerve setting in, I started my final chapter. The last chapter of the day. The one that would determine if I would leave heartbroken from what could have been with my first run, or the one that would leave me entering a new era of my speedrunning journey. The sub-chapters were flying by. 0 meters was done cleanly, so was 500 meters. 1,000 meters definitely could have been better, but it wasn't run ending. I then pulled off one of my better 1,500 meters, which makes sense since I had been practicing this sub-chapter specifically. Then 2 km flew by, and by the time I was at my mental checkpoint room in 2.5k, I was on one of the best paces I'd ever ran Summit. As calm as I tried to stay to keep going, all that could go through my head was this was the run. I'm finally gonna get it. It was all going so well and it felt like nothing could stop me. Until I died at the very end of the very last room in 2.5k. Arguably one of the worst deaths that you can have in Chapter 7. This run was already so close, as I realistically only had about a 20-second window of sub 40 when entering Chapter 7. So while this didn't destroy the sub 40, it definitely made things a lot closer. I completed the room successfully on the second try and here I was. The last sub-chapter of the day, 3,000 meters. I had 4 minutes to do this sub-chapter, and I put my all into completing it. Quickly flag 25 passed by, then flag 20, then flag 15, then flag 10. Then I reached flag 5. I knew I needed at least 50 seconds here, but how close was it? 38:54. This was the run. This had everything to be the run. I just had to not die on flag 4 again. I passed it. I passed it first try. I was on to the final 3 flags. My controller didn't die at flag 3 again. I made it to flag 2 with just under 40 seconds remaining, and I rushed to flag 1. Oh my god, I'm on flag 1. I'm on flag 1. Holy, this is it. This is it. I'm finally getting it. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. Holy, it's the sub 40. Holy...
Answered.
What?
Answered.
Go! Yes! I did it. I actually did it. Nothing got in the way. Nothing stopped me. I got the sub 40. My goal was finally reached. The journey was finally over. I could start a new one. With my fingers definitely needing a rest after this one, I took my victory stroll over to the pie screen and epilogue where I could truly see it. At 39:46, 14 seconds under sub 40. I did it. While the summon I ran definitely had a few mistakes, it didn't matter. It was the sub 40 and I earned it. I went through the proper screens necessary for uploading some runs and submitted it, where I now sit in 1,429th place. Which might not seem like that high, but Celeste is one of the most actively speedrun games of all time. With 6,000 total runners, this easily puts me in the top 25%. And that's the joy of not just speedrunning, but the joy of a lot of things in life. The joy of chasing and working towards a goal, slowly seeing your progress towards that goal and getting to celebrate, be happy, whatever it may be whenever you surpass it. I hope that you found something from this video with that, even if you don't speedrun. While it might just be a silly speedrun for many, on a leaderboard, on a website that are ultimately just pixels on a screen, I think it's a lot deeper than that. I think it's its own type of art form, and is a unique way to show a common feeling of the human experience. Thank you for watching, everyone, and if you haven't heard it today, I'm proud of you.